This is every tool in Affinity 3.0. Subscribe for more design education content. Let's start in the Vector Studio. The Move tool. You can select, resize and reposition any objects. You can even highlight objects on the screen. This goes for text, imagery. Next up is the Artboard tool. This allows you, when selected, to create new artboards by either clicking on these buttons here or drag one out, or to even insert an artboard towards the end. The Node tool. You can edit individual nodes or beziers or handles. This is really helpful and very important to use. The Point Transform tool. This allows you to edit the shape on a point on that axis of that shape. So you can just create a point here and you can scale things to that point and transform your work wherever you want. The Corner tool, or C. When we press this and you select an object or multiple anchor points or nodes, you can highlight, click and drag, and it will create a rounded corner for you there. This is live and non-destructive. The Contour tool allows you to offset a path outward or inward. So you can expand or despand, whatever the name is, non-destructively and then bake the appearance. The Pen tool allows for precise vector plotting and putting in anchor points wherever you want. The Pencil tool allows for freehand vector drawing with stabilization. You can just create a blob there if you want, and you can also change the stabilization up at the top here, so you can increase it or decrease it. The Paintbrush tool, you can paint vector strokes and textured and pressure sensitive brushes. It's basically a vector brush. You can even edit it afterwards with these nodes. The Knife tool, you can slice shapes and paths into separate pieces. The Vector Blob brush is basically a blob brush with a outline stroke, so you can actually just paint things in without it being a path. This also has stabilization at the top. And we also have a Vector Blob Erase as well, where we can erase the blob brush or any shapes. With the Width tool, you can dynamically vary a stroke across a path at different points. The Fill tool allows you to apply and edit solid fills to any shape. You can even do it as a gradient if you want. You just change it up here to different gradients. With the Transparency tool, you can apply a gradient of transparency across any image or shape. And with the Shape tools, we have a plethora of different shapes, which are called primitives, where you can go from a double star to anything else. This is where we normally start off in design. The Shape Builder tool, you can drag across different shapes to merge or subtract shapes. So I can drag across here and get rid of these shapes if I wanted to, or I can merge them together like so. The Vector Flood Fill tool allows you to flood shapes with open shapes inside of them. Like for instance here, I can do it with red, I can do it with white, I can do it with blue, I can do it with green. The Artistic Text tool allows you to drag out the size of your text and start writing. The Frame Text tool allows you to drag a frame where you can insert text, or you can right click and insert filler text. This can be dynamically moved. The Image tool allows you to import images into Affinity by just simply clicking and dragging after selecting the image. The Vector Crop tool allows you to non-destructively crop or remove parts of a vector non-destructively. The Measure tool allows you to measure distances and angles directly on the canvas itself. The Area tool calculates the area of a shape, so it's handy for print production and everything else, so it shows you how big the area is. The Color Picker tool picks a color that you want and applies it to the selected objects. The Sample Picker tool, you can sample and apply full object styles. So I can click here and it will apply that gradient or that stroke to this shape here, which is the same as this shape here. If you're a designer and you need a website, then there is one tool that I would recommend for you, and that is Framer. Framer 3.0 now has live agents. Let me show you what it can do. So I've got my website here, and if I go ahead and play it, you can see that it pops up and the animation looks okay. I like it, it pops up nicely. However, I might want to make it a bit more sleek. Instead of going through each of the bits that I've designed and add animation to and changing them in the effects area, I'm going to go ask AI to do it. I'm going to ask it to make the hero section animations more sleek with nice easing. Framer's AI agent actually allows you to use Fable 5, ChatGPT 5.5, which is wild. Now watch this. I'm going to just press go and it's going to start creating those animation changes for me. Now when I go ahead and click it, you can see that the animations there are a lot crisper, a lot cleaner and a lot nicer, and it did it all within less than a minute. Click the link in the description or use my code on screen to get 30% off Framer Pro's annual plan. Okay, the Pixel Studio. And we've got the Perspective tool, which allows you to change the perspective of imagery. The Mesh Warp tool allows you to warp images live and non-destructively. With the Crop tool, you can crop any image or canvas that you're working in. With the object selection tool, you can select an object and it will automatically find it using your AI and machine learning. The selection brush tool allows you to paint in with object snapping your selection, so you can be more precise. Hold Alt or Option to remove a selection part that you don't like. The flood selection tool, you can just hover over it and click and it will flood the selection based on where you've clicked. The Marquee tool and tools mean that you can just select a marquee selection. So this is very primitive selections. The freehand selection tool allows you to free-handedly select the object that you want and create just your own freehand selection. The fill tool allows you to fill in a gradient onto a pixel-based layer, and you can change these colors. And the flood fill tool allows you just to simply select and it will flood fill based on a pixel selection, like so. The Paintbrush tool is a raster-based brush system that you can use for painting or drawing. You can increase the size. The Paint Mixer tool allows you to blend and paint colors simultaneously together to get a nice painted look. So if we do this, we can start painting in and blending in some of these colors. The color replacement brush repaints hue whilst preserving luminosity and texture. So we can repaint this hue if we wanted to, but it'll keep the luminosity and the texture. The pixel tool allows you to paint pixels, literally. Zoom right in and start painting pixels. This is hard edged, great for pixel art. The erase brush tool allows you to softly erase things. The background erase brush allows you to only erase backgrounds or of a certain luminosity or color. So I can erase all of this now, but nothing else is being erased. The flood erase tool erases things in one click based on color and selection, I'm assuming. The adjustment brush allows you to paint on your adjustments. So for instance, we can paint here, bring in the exposure, we can increase and decrease that, and it adds it as a non-destructive layer. We can do this with the tone brush as well. We can increase or decrease the tone and change it slightly. And the sponge brush desaturates areas locally. The filter brush tool allows you to paint live filters onto specific areas. So I'm going to paint this guy onto this area, and that is the Gaussian blur. We can actually change that to like a bloom, and we can increase the bloom here onto this area if we wanted to. Increase that bloom. We can even add some clarity to this guy by just brushing it in. The blur brush tool allows you to soften areas locally onto the image as well. This image is getting a lot of love. And the sharpen brush tool does the exact opposite. It sharpens areas that you want sharpened. The medium brush tool softens areas and denoises it. And the smudge brush tool, well, smudges everything. It essentially acts like wet paint, so you can go crazy with the smudges. The clone brush tool allows you to clone certain areas. So if I wanted this guy over here, I could just sample him and then I can just paint him back in. Doesn't look that great here though, does it? The inpainting brush tool is interesting because we can paint over this guy and it'll do some inpainting and remove him. We can refine that selection, keep going, and we've just made him disappear. Let's do another farmer image. There we go. The healing brush tool basically heals an area. So we need to set a source and it'll basically clone that little area and blend it in nicely. The patch tool is the same as the healing brush. We can select the top here and then select another area that we want to take from it. Blemish removal tool allows you to just do one click, 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 click on little blemishes. And the red eye remover tool allows you to remove red eye flashes that you've got anywhere. The hand tool pans around the canvas, and the zoom tool allows you to zoom in and out by moving your mouse. Okay, the layout studio. The table tool. This creates a table for you, just like a spreadsheet. The picture frame tool, and you've got this in rectangle and oval or circle. This allows you to draw out an area, and then you can import the farmer image again into that area, and you can move the image around. Those are all the tools inside of Affinity 3.0. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.